The new girls' stand. At precisely 8:03 a.m., Lena Thompson walked through the double doors of Lincoln High in Willow Creek, Texas. Her eyes were fixed ahead, her heart steady, her silence a shield honed by years of moving from one town to another. The air shifted as she entered, a ripple of something new disturbing the settled rhythm of a school too comfortable with its own routines. A snicker drifted from a corner. A teacher stumbled over her name. And a boy, radiating unchecked power, stepped into her path. This wasn't just a shul, it was a gauntlet. And Lena? She was ready. The scent of sun-baked asphalt and freshly mowed grass clung to the morning air outside Lincoln High, familiar in that way every small town seems to carry. But inside, as the heavy doors clanged shut, Lena stepped into a chill that had nothing to do with the humming air conditioner. It was the silence, the kind that watches, that waits. She felt it on her neck before she even looked up. Whispers didn't need words. The hallway paused, eyes scanning her dark skin, her braided hair, her steady stride. Then came the murmurs, the quick math people do when someone different walks in. New girl. Black girl. Not from here. Easy mark. Lena didn't flinch. She'd learned not to. This was her fourth school in 3 years: Memphis, Birmingham, Baton Rouge, now Willow Creek. Another dot on the map where she was expected to fade into the background and survive the year without making waves. Her sneakers echoed on the polished tile, her shoulders squared under the weight of her backpack and all it represented. Her father, a retired Marine who now taught self-defense to veterans, had packed her a lunch and a quiet prayer that morning. Be strong, not hard, he'd said. There's a difference. She carried those words like a compass. At the front office, a receptionist with sharp glasses and a sharper frown mispronounced her name. Lena corrected softly. Lena. But then came the laughter, sharp, deliberate, like a blade meant to nick. Near the trophy case, a group of boys in Letterman jackets lounged, their leader peeling away with a swagger that screamed trouble. Ethan Caldwell. She didn't know his name yet, but she knew the type. Entitled, feared, untouchable. His eyes locked onto hers, his grin daring her to react. She kept walking, found her locker, and spun the dial. Just as it clicked open, an arm slammed against the metal beside her head. Ethan leaned in, the hallway falling quiet. That's not your locker, he said, voice low but loud enough to carry. Charcoal. Laughter erupted, cruel and jagged. Lena didn't blink. She stared at him, silent, because some fights start with names, not fists. His arm lingered, his cologne sharp with arrogance. This locker's mine, she said, her voice clear, pointing to the number assigned by the office. Ethan's smirk widened. Sounds like a mistake. We don't let outsiders in. More laughter from his crew: Jake, built like a linebacker, and Tyler, with a blonde mop and a hyena's laugh. Lena stepped back. Take it. I don't need it. She turned and walked away, their laughter hanging behind her, caught off guard by her refusal to bite. A soft voice called out, Lena? A girl, pale with strawberry blonde hair, clutched a binder. I'm Sarah Miller, your guide. Sorry I'm late. She glanced nervously at Ethan's group. That locker thing, it's awful. Lena nodded. Is that normal here? Sarah exhaled. Depends who you are. Ethan's untouchable. His dad's the mayor. His mom runs the school board. Jake's mom heads the PDA, and Tyler's uncle is the sheriff. Lena filed it away. Bullies with inherited power. Same story, different town. The day blurred classrooms, teachers, eyes following her. In English, Ethan sat behind her, whispering insults about her braids, kicking her chair. She stayed still, breathing slowly, the anger in her chest a match she refused to light. At lunch, she sat alone by a window until a tall boy with dreadlocks and ink-stained fingers approached. Mind if I sit? He asked. Lena nodded. I'm Marcus Reed, he said, voice low. There's only 2 of us here, so they notice you fast. He warned her about Ethan's crew, protected by their parents' influence. He told her about Jeremiah Brown, a student who stood up to them last year and vanished after a fight, rumored to have landed in the hospital. They don't just walk, Marcus said. They're praised. That night, Lena pounded a speed bag in their garage, her fists wrapped tight, her father watching silently. You walked away today, he said. That's control. She nodded, but the fire in her chest burned hotter. They pushed me, filmed it, laughed. Her father's eyes darkened. They'll escalate. They always do. The next morning, Her locker opened to a note. Behind the gym, after school. Don't be late. No signature, but she knew. She didn't tell Marcus, Sarah, or her father. She carried the note like a pulse, her resolve hardening. Between classes, Marcus cornered her. I heard about the note. It's a setup. Lena met his eyes. So I hide. Let them keep doing this. Sarah appeared, clutching a folder. Jeremiah's my cousin, she whispered, handing it over. Inside were articles, screenshots, a blurry photo of Jeremiah's bruised face. He didn't fight back, Sarah said. He didn't know how. That night, Lena trained until her knuckles bled. Her father cleaned the cuts, his voice firm. They sent a note? She nodded. I'm not going to fight, Dad. I'm going to finish what they started with Jeremiah. The air stilled, her words a vow. Behind the gym, the crowd formed a silent coliseum, phones out, eyes hungry. Ethan stood at the center, Jake and Tyler at his sides. Didn't think you'd show, Ethan sneered. Lena unzipped her backpack, set it down, and faced him. You've had your fun. This is your last chance to walk. The crowd murmured, her calm unnerving them. Jake lunged, sloppy and overconfident. Lena sidestepped, letting his momentum crash him into the fence. He hit the ground, stunned. Tyler moved next, calculated, his fist precise. Lena blocked a jab, redirected a grab, and twisted his arm just enough to send him sprawling. The crowd gasped her skill wasn't just speed, it was training. Then Ethan stepped forward, peeling off his jacket like a knight preparing for battle. Lena knelt beside him as he gasped. 8 years of Krav Maga, she said. 3 years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Trained by a Marine who raised me alone after we buried my mother. Ethan's eyes widened. She stood, addressing the crowd. I didn't come to fight. I came to finish what should have ended with Jeremiah Brown. For every kid scared to be seen. For everyone who's been called a name and had to pretend it didn't hurt. Principal Hargrove stepped forward, phone in hand, recording stopped. Mr. Ellis, her history teacher, emerged too, his own footage ready. Ethan's father, Mayor Caldwell, stormed in, accusing Lena of ambush. Hargrove shut him down. We have footage of your son's slurs, his assault, her restraint. The crowd dispersed, shaken. In the conference room, the truth played out on a screen. Ethan's taunts, Lena's warnings, her controlled defense. Mayor Caldwell raged, but the school board recommended suspension for Ethan, Jake, and Tyler. Hargrove turned to Lena. We need to discuss your future. Her heart sank, fearing punishment. Instead, he offered her a role leading an after-school self-defense program, a community for students to feel safe. Her father agreed to coach. The program grew into a heartbeat for Lincoln High. Marcus found his voice, teaching techniques with humor. Sarah recruited students, her fear replaced by purpose. Even Ethan joined, quiet and awkward, trying to unlearn his past. Lena didn't forgive him, but she taught him, refusing to let hate define her. One night, an email from Jeremiah arrived. Thank you for breaking the silence, for giving us hope. Lena's eyes burned with release. She wasn't just the girl who flipped Ethan Caldwell. She was an instructor, her name bold on the sign-up board. Lena Thompson, instructor. The hallways changed. Whispers faded, replaced by nods of respect. The self-defense class echoed with laughter, courage, and falls that led to rising. Lena stood at the center, not a fighter but a guide, showing others how to stand tall. One morning, a shy freshman thanked her for making space. Lena smiled. We'll hold it for you until you're ready. That night, her father watched her unwrap her wrist braces. You don't look like a fighter, he said. You look like a teacher. Lena nodded, the weight in her chest lighter. She'd fought not to win, but to restore. And in that restoration, she'd built something lasting. What do you think? Lena's story raises tough questions about bullying, justice, and the power of standing up. Was she right to confront her bullies, or should she have walked away? How do we balance fighting back with breaking the cycle of violence? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'll want to hear where you stand. Your voice matters, and it might spark the change someone else needs to see.